Today is technically the start of my summer vacation, and I'm going to 3 car events. First one is Cars and Coffee, because gotta have coffee. And it's British Car Day, so maybe we'll bump into a few other Lotus Evora owners. I already got called out that there's not very many of us out here, so we'll see how that goes. If anything, I'm very tired and I need coffee desperately. Look who it is. Hey. On my way to the next stop, Cars and Coffee was fun. Got to see my oldest son. One of the best things about car community and the car culture and my family and extended family is we all show up at events together. So I'm headed over to the Taste of Motorsports meet, which I'm going to be pretty late for because I decided to have breakfast with my son. But nonetheless, headed that way and see what kind of cars are there. So I was at the Taste of Motorsports meetup, and it was pretty cool. A lot of really nice cars, really nice people too. And actually, I met another Lotus owner, John, and he's got a really sick red Lotus Evora, exchanging stories about the idiosyncrasies of these cars and the silly little things that we've had to put up with. And anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up is that we were talking for about 45 minutes, almost an hour, and I missed the takeoff to the meetup at the Porsche Design Center, whatever that place is called. So instead, I decided that I'm gonna go take a little drive. I'm gonna head out to Bald Peak. There's some fun little roads out there to drive on. Gonna go do that right now, and yeah, just have a little bit of fun in the sun. So I just got to Bald Peak. Such a nice drive. So close to the house too. Picked up my old GoPro and strapped it to the side of the car. So hopefully there were some cool shots along the way. Hopefully that works out. It's really old. It's like a 4. And I think they're on like 12 right now. Day, super gorgeous. So I think I started telling the story of, you should hear all the motorcycles. I think I started telling the story of like how I got this car and the journey to get to it. My father-in-law helped me find the car, and we found the car. It ticked all the boxes. It was a fantastic deal, but it was in Pennsylvania. Had to buy the car sight unseen. We did know about one issue with the airbag light on, but I did the reasonable thing, rolled the dice, bought the car. So we had it shipped out from Pennsylvania, had it inspected at AR Motorsports here in Portland, Oregon. This path here, I don't know why I'm going over here. I just complained about the bugs like 3 seconds ago, and now like there's bees everywhere. So what did they find on the car? So let's start with the minor things. A floor mat clip that was missing. There was a rattle in the exhaust. There's a little clunk in the suspension in the front. The seat rails on one side were like a little loose or rickety. The parking sensors, you put it in the reverse, that beep just constantly goes off, which was super annoying. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, there's a little rattle in the door. It was super weird. Shifter was a little loose, but overall nothing that really, you know, was that big of a deal. There's a few nicks and scratches. It's, you know, about 35,000, 38, 39. Take that back, 40,000 miles on the car when I bought it. Now on the major stuff. So I mentioned the airbag light. I knew about that. That was kind of a big deal. And I'll talk about the fix in a little bit. So that one could have been a concerning item to repair. The next thing was something I didn't find until I took it to go get emissions tested, which was one of the emissions monitors was not turned on. Those were the major items. Everything on the minor side wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, I probably spent a few dollars on the clip for the floor mat. The rattle in the door, hilariously enough, I had some speakers that I got from a friend of mine to upgrade the sound system, which, topic for another day. There was a screwdriver in the door, a snap-on screwdriver in the door. That was the door rattle. I gained something out of that one. There wasn't anything wrong. The airbag light, that was the scary one. I think is one of the reasons why I got the car on such a good deal that I did. The car didn't have any crash damage, no signs of any accidents. But on the forums, there were people saying that, hey, if this thing gets low voltage, it can actually throw a code for the airbag. Bought a like $200, $150 tool that was able to select and flash that module. Boom, airbag light gone. The other one could have been concerning and could have been a big deal was that axle boot kind of grease leak, but you know, got the car on some wheel blocks under the car, took the old clamp off, packed some more grease in there because it had lost a little bit, so you know, maybe less than an ounce of grease maybe, and put a new clamp on. Got the tool for the clamp because I didn't have one. That's it, hasn't leaked since. Now the ECU one, Innotech. And they really helped me out. They were able to kind of see, based on some scans that I had gave them, that it was a tune from Comotech. I emailed Comotech. I went back and forth with Comotech multiple times, and they denied that there was any issue. I went as far as even buying a factory ECU, having it flashed with the factory file for this car, and it didn't have the issue. I was able to go through DEQ and emissions testing, no problem. And it literally was just a monitor. Like everything else passed on the emissions test. Like this thing has catalytic converters. It's got, you know, all the emission systems are stock. But the big issue was that the file that was on the ECU that came with the car was from it was a European file or a rest of the world file. It wasn't for North America. It wasn't for the United States. And Comotech denied it up and down that there wasn't anything wrong with the ECU. That monitor, you know, doesn't need to be on to pass emissions. And then they never emailed me back. But the guys at Innotech, they helped me out. So that was a pretty hefty one. That was like $2,200 for the ECU with flashing and everything else. And the parts that we had to put on it to make it work, we ended up with a killer deal. Well, I'm going to get back to driving around. It's a super fun day. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for joining me to those couple little meetups. I got to meet some new people today. Got to hang out with my son. And now I'm just going to enjoy driving around. So if you like this, you want to follow along the journey, click subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video where we'll talk through some of the upgrades that we've made on this car already and some of the ones to come. So see you soon.